So this is about your physical topologies. Just basic physical topology we'll see. Okay. What are the physical topologies? Bus, ring, mesh, and star topology. And already you know the how it is look like and all. Okay. If you want, I will explain simple way. If you have a like you have a device, this all devices are connected to a single backbone wire like this. Okay, so this is bus topology. Okay, there is a issues with the bus. It is easy to configure and cheaper. Just like your old days, we have a cable network is there now. So they run a one cable, from the cable again they link to the TV connections using coaxial cable, right? So your old days, our TVs are usually like coaxial cable. Now the digitalization become compulsory. So then obviously the cable guys are either local cable guys or maybe you have to put a dish network. Okay, but what is the problem in this one? If any cable is disconnected like this, means these two can able to communicate, but this cannot able to communicate these things. So they communicate each other, but they cannot communicate. So certain part network will be disconnected. Okay, like initial part is disconnected means these are all disconnected from here. So this is the one issue in bus topologies. Okay, so it is keep on extending the cable and we have to keep connecting it. So this is how bus topology is there. Next one is ring topology. Ring topology means you have a devices and we have to connect the devices each other. Like this is connected to here and this is connected to here, this is connected to another PC, one PC to another PCs we are connecting, and we form a last PC to the first PC. So each PC is connected to the next PC. Okay, so this is forming a ring like this, so close. So if you don't connect the last one, if you don't connect the last one, then it is up to here only. Problem is, so one way communication from first PC to last PC. If you want to communicate, you have to send a packet. You have to send a packet through all the PCs. So then what they find, they have to they are connected like this. So then from here to here we can able to communicate. Still there is an issue. They use a double ring topology like this. This is a double ring topology. So they connected two wires to another device like this. It is not much scalable type. Like if you have a new device, again we have to disconnect and connect the devices again. It is also easy to configure but not as scalable, not much that easy. Again everything we have to install, connect and configure everything. Okay, so that is ring topology. Next one is mesh topology. Mesh topology, every device is connected to another device. Every device is connected to another device. So by drawing it is, it look like a star topology only. So when they write, it is they write like a star topology. But here every device is um, connected to another device. So that's we have to check it once. Okay, like this. So this device is connected to this one, and this one, and as well as this one. This is connected to this one, this one. Okay, it is not connected here. That's what I'm missing. It is. but the inside, if you see, it is look like a star. Lot of people think it is a star topology. It's not star topology, it's a mesh topology. It's a full mesh topology, so everything is connected to everything, and it is not at all scalable, and it is a very complex network. Every time, like if you introduce new device again, again we need to stop all the machines and add one more adapter, and we have to connect it again. So that is become more complex and costly, but it will give you a more redundancy also. Like this, you have to connect everything, so it's become a more complex, while wiring work is more, and it is not um, it is not much easy. Okay, it is cost because of the keep on adding wires and adapters. Okay, but it is more reliable network, because if somewhere wire is disconnected, still we can able to communicate. If device is down, then we can't communicate it to that device, but other things will communicate each other. Okay, but it is not scalable. Like if you have a new device again, it is a very complex to increase it. So this is mesh topology. Actual star topology is, we have a centralized device, either hub or a switch. All devices are connected to a single centralized device only. So the centralized device can be hub or a switch. We are connecting like this. This is called a star topology. This device having a port, like a switch having a port, then we are connecting directly to the port. It is very easy to configure, and a single device means it's very easy to administrate. So we know which device is disconnected by checking the LED blinking on the switch or a hub. Next, if centralized device is failure, means total network is failure, then we have to replace or repair the only centralized device only. Okay, and it will also provide a extended star topology, means you can, if you need more devices to communicate in a single segment. For example, this is one single segment. Okay, this is another segment. This is another segment, network segment. Okay, physical network segment. In this one, this is another segment. If you want to make a communication between this PC to this PC, you want to communicate from here to here, we can't communicate because they are physically not connected. So because both are in different segments, if you connect these two segments, then automatically the total become single segment only. There are initially two segments, now they become a single segment. So two different segments become a single segment by connecting together, and they can communicate each other because of there are connected like this. This is called a extended star topology. Extended star topology. We can extend the star topology. Okay. So this is a physical star topology. Okay. So next, logical network based on the logical networks is based on the IP addresses only. So we'll see that one IP addresses, but before going to that one, we have to go to voice layers. Okay. So here, different models are created how to communicate in a network. How to communicate in a network, right? So, if you are in a classroom, then different ways to communicate, right? So, a friend-to-friend communication is little bit different. Friends, person to another person, like as a friend, communication is different. As a parents, different communication. As a lecturer, is a different communication is there. As a co-worker, different communication is there, right? So so like different model of communications are there. So whenever they find the devices, so they are started connecting using any, okay, connecting with a different physical topologies. So they started using a different models to communicate. Okay, these are different protocol suits. These are protocol suits to how to communicate each other. Different organizations come up with different kind of network protocol suits, like Apple comes with Apple Talk, Novel Netware, IBM, mainframes. Okay, and in a different research they are using a DoD model. Okay, DDoD is different. DDoD is different. Denial of service is different. Okay, denial of service is different. Okay, so that's a different thing that is comes under security things. But DoD is a model is defense model. Later, this DoD model become more public. Okay, so they started using TCP/IP. For understanding whatever the model you are using, whatever the model we are using TCP/IP model only we are using. But whatever the model we are using, so to understand, we got a OSA model. Okay, we got a OSA reference model. It is a 7-layer model, and it is standardized by ISO, International Organization for Standardization. IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, created a journal the journal number is 802. So all networking related journals will be belongs to 802 only. It's given a standard model. Okay. So 802.3 means Ethernet. 802.11 means, so here I will give you two standards. 802.3 means Ethernet communication. 802.11 means your Wi-Fi. Then ABCD also there. 11A, 11B, 11C, 11N, 11Z. So it depends upon Wi-Fi speeds that is mentioned. Normally your Wi-Fi speeds are 2.5 gigahertz. Is also capital. Okay, and another model is 5 gigahertz in currently outside the speeds. Okay, so current Wi-Fi speeds are available in these two speeds current. Of course, 300 Mbps, 400 Mbps, like there are some different models are there, but this is the one standard model we have. It's a frequency model. That's it. Don't worry about that one. So we have a 7 layers. Okay, 7-layer model it is. So application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, data link layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Don't interchange it. So this is 7 layers. If interviewer ask any question like tell me a 7 layers, you must tell the 7 layers. If you ask any specific layer, so then also you can able to tell the specific layer also. Okay, so already data is we are using, we call it as a PDU. So what are the data of each layer, that we call it as a PDU, packet data unit. So we should not call that one as a packet, but we should call it as a packet data unit. The first layer is application layer. So application layer means what application we are using, like a client-side web browser, different web browsers we are using, different FTP browsers, different kind of mail clients software we are using. Server side, we are using different servers like a web servers, mail servers, file servers. So already I put up one thing, right? What is a protocol? Protocol means what you are asking and whom you are asking, right? So when you are communicating, what you are communicating, like you are pinging to a PC. So ping command use ICMP protocol, and the request is, we call it as a request is echo request. Ping use ICMP protocol. Okay, ping is a command to verify whether my destination PC is communicating to me or not. Okay, there is a communication between two devices, is there or not. How to check it? Like from my PC to my desktop I want to communicate. Okay, so by pinging, I will know that my desktop is reachable, it is in within a network, is on or off, any information, right? So if I'm not able to ping it, so I'm not getting a ping reply from my destination, it means so either my PC is off, or maybe IP address is wrong, or maybe a network is down. So I will get that information. So that is a ping command. But what is the protocol we use in a ping? ICMP protocol. Okay, so when you send when you are putting a request is echo request using ICMP protocol. Other side is also understand, other side means destination understand I got a echo request, it means someone done a ping to me, and protocol is ICMP, so based on that it will reply back to your PC. Okay, so that is like, so every aspect like, um, your browser or maybe upload download or anything is, whenever you send a request we send with the client side, right? So other side is a destination, so it respond based on that one. Like I open a web page, the web server respond according to it. How web server understand, based on my request, based on my protocol only. So the application layer are dealing with application part of client and as well as their protocols. Okay. Different port numbers are there. I am using this some of the port numbers here. Compulsory, guys, you must know the port numbers. Okay, so last time and mostly common questions is what are the protocols you learn in your thing. Okay, so HTTP is the most common protocol. HTTPS is also HTTP 80 443 for HTTPS, FTP 2021, SSH 22, and Telnet 23. We use SSH for a PuTTY connection. Okay, so 22 port number. SMTP is a mail communication, 25. Okay, over SSL and DSL different port numbers are there, but it is a, basic port number is 25. POP3 is 110 and IMAP is 114. These three are in a mail communication, and SSH and Telnet for a remote connection, FTP for file transferring purpose, HTTP for web page purposes. NTP, network time protocol in a Linux. Already I showed what is NTP server. It sync NTP server time to our system. DHCP 67, 68 and DNS is 53. Okay, DHCP which provide IP address to the client, and DNS is provide IP address to the client by name and IP address mapping. Okay, if you give a name, you will get IP address in a DNS. DHCP, if you don't have an IP address, you can ask DHCP, you will get an IP address. That's the difference. Kerberos and LDAP is authentication protocol. Windows Active Directory use mainly Kerberos authentication protocol, that is port number is 88. LDAP is a common authentication protocol in different systems, including Windows, Linux, Unix. Okay, so that one. TFTP protocol, trivial file transfer protocol, usually for configurations, transferring configuration, upload or download the configuration. Use TFTP. RDP, remote desktop protocol. So if you want to view the remote PC's desktop from there to here, so then we use a RDP protocol. Okay. So these are the most commonly used protocols. Not only this, so many other things also there. SNTP, SNMP, like remote monitoring related one. If you want to monitor the remote PC, then we use monitoring tools. So the monitoring tools works with a SNMP protocol only. Okay. So these are the protocols we use in a networking generally. So there are a lot of protocols are there, almost like 1023 port numbers are there. Okay. Total port numbers are 65,500, 35 or 36 port numbers are there. So out of that, reserved port numbers are 1024 port numbers are there. Our remaining is unreserved, means you can use it for anything like 8080 mostly. Any web applications we use 8080, like we use it for Oracle server, we use it, and as well as Jenkins we use this one. And for Jenkins I changed port number to 9090. It is user defined protocol, port numbers, user defined port number, so based on user requirement. Okay. Next one is a presentation layer. Presentation layer is dealing with, okay, Presentation is like what are the data you are transmitting from server to client or client to server. So what are the data is type is it convert into ASCII code that we call it as encoding and decoding. Okay, and it is also presentation layer compress and decompress the data, encrypt and decrypt the data also. Like if you are using HTTP, then there is no encryption and only it is plain text format only. Okay, but if you are using HTTPS, it is an encrypted format. Using SSL certificate, it data encryption is there. Even though, like if you see this website when we open, if you click here in a side, so then you can see HTTPS in this corner. Okay, so what is this HTTPS? It will encrypt format is there. So then if anybody want to access your data, then they can't able to do it. So clear cut, if you want to explain, then you can use Wireshark to understand this transmission. So you have to scan with your network with Wireshark. It's one of the free tool available in the internet. So then you can download and install it and use one HTTP and see what is the data transmission, what is the packet, and packet contains the data, right? So we can see the data. HTTPS, we can't see the data. We enter data is encrypted. Next is a session layer. Session layer has a very simple task for a session layer is okay. Session layer is having a so like it will create a session means whenever I send a packet to the my server, so my server should give a reply and reply is completed means I send a request. I want a web page, Butler page, and server is giving me page completed. So once it is completed, it is terminated. When I sending, it is created. Once task is completed, it is terminated, and task is going on. So it's keep on downloading. Like I download some 30 MB data. So till completion of the download, it will maintain the session. If any network is disconnected, anything like a network or internet is disconnected, okay, it terminate the session in middle. So it will wait for a certain seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds it will wait. So internet is not back, means automatically session is disconnected from the server. Okay, so it will create a session, maintain a session, and terminate the session, and it will maintain a multiple sessions also. Like I've opened a multiple section means a session having a multiple source connection is there, then it's contains some multiple sessions, multiple things in a single session, or multiple sessions like multiple tabs, multiple requests in that one. So like that, multiple sessions we can maintain. Next one is a transport layer. Transport layer is also called as a heart of. What is heart of OS layer? So heart of transport layer. So what is the job in a transport layer is it will do the segmenting. It will cut the data into small parts. So minimum size is 64 uh, KB, not MB, 64 KB, 64 bytes or something is there. Minimum size 64 bytes something. It will chop like it is. It won't transmit less than 64 bytes. It will chop the net. It will chop the big size of the packet into small packets. So this is called a segmenting, and it will give you a numbering on each segment, and it will create a sequencing number. So why? Because of big packet, if you transmit that at the end of the at the end, uh, the big the entire data is not transmitted. The data is corrupted, and it will drop the packet again. We have to send the packet. So instead of that one, we make it as small packets, and we'll send the small packets with a sequence number. At the end destination, whenever you receive the packet, it has a sequence number, so we can arrange it properly. If any packet is not received or data corrupted in one single packet, so again the source will send that packet only. So then it will utilize lesser the bandwidth. Error checking is also one of the thing in a transport layer. How it is error checking, error checking and error correction because of numbering and sequencing. Multiplexing and demultiplexing means in a enter your communication. So we use a different type of protocols, TCP, UDP type of protocols we are using, like HTTP, FTP, TFTP, RDP, or different protocols we are using in each session, right? So what this transport layer will do, it will combine all the TCP protocols into TCP block. So simple think like there is a box, TCP box, they put all TCP protocols into TCP box only, all UDP protocols into UDP box only. So it's multiplexing and demultiplexing. When receiver receive it, it will open the TCP box and check what protocols you are used. So like that only. So what is the difference between TCP way of communication and UDP way of communication is, TCP means transmission control protocol, UDP means user datagram protocol. TCP is acknowledgement based and UDP is no acknowledgement. You don't use any acknowledgement. TCP is reliable and UDP is non-reliable. Why? Because it is using acknowledgement. Here is no acknowledgement. To understand TCP, to understand what is this acknowledgement. So whenever your source send a packet to destination, the destination will send a acknowledgement to your source PC. So it is means like I received your packet. Like I'm asking, do you understand? Means yes. It means I will understand you received it. Got it? So acknowledgement based means whenever I send it, if I got acknowledgement, that means from destination is acknowledging me, send an acknowledgement. So that means destination is received it. If I don't receive acknowledgement, it means destination is not received. That is a TCP communication. What is a UDP communication? In UDP, it will send a packet to the destination and source don't know whether destination is reached or not. Sources don't know whether destination is reached or not. Here it is example. Here third is no acknowledgement I didn't received. So I have to send this packet again. Here we don't send it again, so let it go on like that only. It is a slower in a comparison wise only, but it is not a valid point, so we should not say slow and fast kind of comparison. Just for a thing like it is acknowledgement based, so source understand destination received or not by acknowledgement only, so compulsory it wait for acknowledgement for sending another packet. Okay, otherwise it will send a packet again and again. So in a both the ways it is like a slower than this one. This is sending only from source side, it is keep on sending and it is not waiting for any acknowledgement from the things. It is called connected and then this is called a connectionless. What is a connected one? It means when you are speaking to someone, if the guy is nodding his head or giving some reply, then what we call it as a connected. So what is we are connected? If I ask a question, do you understand? Yes, it means connected. If you are not saying anything, it's become connectionless. If I ask, do you have any doubts? Nothing, you didn't speak. Then it is become connectionless. Connectionless means I keep on giving information, but I didn't get any information from you whether you received or not. For example, I send a packet, I shared a file. You didn't say I received a file, then it is not connected. So just for example, if you see there is a check marks are there, right? See the green check marks represent, the blue check marks represent other destination is received. It's acknowledgement. Okay, it means it's an acknowledgement. If you don't get a blue check mark means everyone is not received. Okay, this is a example different type of protocols. Some are UDP, some are TCP. These are UDP protocols. There are pure TCP protocols. Some are both side which will work. Some are something some Protocols act like it, sometimes UDP, sometimes TCP also. There is example protocols. Okay, UDP, TCP. There is a confusion point in engineering, that is, some people said connected means it's a wired network. It is a wireless network. No, no, nothing is wired and wireless. Everything is either it is wired or wireless. Whatever it is you are using, whatever the protocol you are using, wired or a wireless protocol, like whatever the network you are using, Wi-Fi or a directly LAN connection. If you are doing wired connection or Wi-Fi connection, it is not belongs to this one. So everything TCP UDP is same for both the things. Connected means acknowledgement based. We know source knows destination received the packet or not. That will we know it. In UDP, so we don't know destination received a packet or not. We don't know that one. So we send a packet. That's it. We don't worry about other things. This is a one of the thing in a here. Okay, and TCP also doing a flow control. Okay, also is a responsible of flow control. What is the flow control? Control the flow. Very simple. Based on the destination. So I send a packet, like I'm speaking continuously. I don't know whether you understand or not. Sometimes, when I given a five statements, out of five statements, you received only two statements only. Three statements are not received. So then, how to myself, how to slow, slowly, how to tell thing, like, or maybe how to give only two statements, then again two statements, again two statements, because your capacity is like a only understand two statements, not five statements at a time. So what I have to do, I have to reduce my the way the delivery packet delivery rate, like a two packets at a time, or three packets at a time, or 10 packets at a time. So based on that I can do it. For, like, for example, your source is a 1 Gbps connection, destination is 100 Mbps. So I can send a 1 Gbps means 1 gigabyte bit per second, 1 gigabit per second I can able to send it. But destination cannot receive that much of data at a time. Like, for example, I can able to send you have to convert bit into bytes here, so it's okay. I will talk in bits wise only. For example, one for example, I have a 500 megabit data is there, bit data, not byte data, it is megabit data is there. Okay, I have a 500 megabit data. I send, receiver is 100 bits per second. He cannot receive it completely. He can receive 100 bits data, but not remaining 400 bits data. So that we have to understand what is the capacity of receiving end, then we have to send the packet. This PDU is added with your TCP IP header to your packet. In a OSI layer, it will add a TCP header to it. So then we call that one as a segment. So where is a segment? So transport layer, the transport layer, after doing all these things, means segmenting, numbering, sequencing, multiplexing, TCP UDP. So entire data keep it in one header. That header name is TCP header, added to your actual data. So then it is called as a segment. The outcome of transport layer, we call it as a segment. This segment is sent to network layer. This segment is sent to network layer. So this is a network layer work. What is a network layer will do? Add a routed protocols and a routing protocols. Like, if you are using a router type or maybe a PC, so use a routing protocols, default routing, static routing. Certain routing protocols are there, that is called RIP, ESGRP, OSP, for ESGRP, ISIS also. We can see the routing information for each PC. So if you just type print, root print, that's enough. It printing all the root information. So can you see? This is all this PC contain root information. These are the interface information. These are the interface information. So yeah, can you see this is my MAC address? This is a interface list, like that's a prefix list 33. This is my MAC address, and this is my adapter, and this is a overall my network destination mask gateway interface. This is important. You have to check the interface and the metric here. So this is a default destination, means what are the packet sent to this gateway, what are the packet, what are the destination sent to this gateway only, that is through this my IP address. All remaining lives in internal PC only. This is for entirely internal communication purpose only. This is only for external communication. Okay, so everything as there is a routing table is there. These are all routing table inside of my PC. If you don't understand, still no problem. I don't worry about it. Okay, so of course routers use different protocols. Like you are sitting here and you are sending a packet to somewhere, like Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, okay, Yahoo, Microsoft. You downloaded Jenkins, you downloaded Oracle things, right? So those servers are in a different places in the entire world, right? Some are in New Jersey, San Jose, okay, so different are places there. Singapore, Bangalore, different places servers are there. So what is how to reach the destination? How to reach the destination? These protocols will give you that information how to reach the destination. These protocols will calculate the distance from your location to your remote location. So to see that one, you can use command called trace rt www.google.com. First I'm using google.com. I want to reach google.com. See, so your ISP provider maintaining the router thing, right? So first is my router to ISP provider routers, ISP provider to my destination. Okay, my destination is google.com. So my destination is 142.250.67.132. That is my destination. Okay, so I have to reach my destination by crossing lot of routers in between it. But which is the best path? Which one is the best path? What is the best path? So that will be decided by routing protocols only. So what is routing protocols? Routing protocols will tell you the best path to reach the destination. So cross almost 7. By 7 we can get it easily. So 8, by 8 we got it. So this is your destination. So this is my router, in my local router. These are the ISP providers, and this is from outside of the ISP provider. Then I reach completely this one. This is called a best path selection. If you use different things, like we don't know where is a Jenkins, just I type. If you see the first protocols, first, like first one is my router, second one is my ISP. This is similar. Up to 50% it will show up to here. So similar. Later it will change because the direction will be changed. No, like if you are from your home to your bus stand, maybe a different place. From there to other place is different. Like railway station is different place and bus stand is different place. Oh, it is very less distance only. If compared to Google, Jenkins is very near. So always the first 3 or 4 things are same. Later it is very short, different. Why? Because of servers are in different places and the route is also different. So if route changes, automatically things are changed, right? So how we can reach the destination? By using routing protocols only. So Airtel server is also interacting here. So there is through Airtel. This is one. This is my network only, but while it is going, there is a Airtel server is also Airtel related router is also there in middle. It crossing that one. It cross 8 hops. You should reach destination by 30 hops. That's the limit. Why 30 hops is like if you cross the 30 hops means you receive your own packet. That's the thing. Okay. Next one is routed protocols, means IP addresses, addresses, Apple tag addresses. These are all addresses called routed protocols. Routed protocols dealing with your IP addresses, routing protocols dealing with your routing protocols like RIP, AZRP kind of stuff. And here what will happen, there is a network header. The network header contains source IP and destination IP address and your segment which is came from transport layer. The total combination of this thing we call it as a packet. What is a packet? Packet contains a segment from the transport layer and source IP and destination IP. Okay, this we call it as a layer 3, right? So no, I will tell that layer 3 things later. So this is a layer 3. So always we have to count from bottom to top. So layer 3. Okay. So called a packet. So source IP, destination IP plus segment. We call it as a packet. This packet is sent to data link layer. This packet is sent to data link layer. So I'm keep on telling guys whether you are get the point or not. I don't know. So this data link layer is received this packet. Okay, but in data link layer we have a different protocols are there. This data link layer is divided into two parts. One is LLC, another one is MAC. Logical link control actually dealing with your WAN protocols. Dealing with the WAN protocols, frame relay, ATM, PPP, SDLC. These are a WAN protocols. If you are not using WAN protocol, then it is no use. Okay. If you are using WAN protocols, this is a very important one. That's it only. When you are communicating through internet, so it is a WAN protocol. When you are communicating within the LAN, means we don't need of this one. But commonly we use a MAC. So if you are communicating in a LAN, compulsory MAC is very important. When you are communicating outside, these are very important. So whatever it is, so the data link layer got a packet from network layer. The network layer, the packet is additionally adding a header and tail. Header and tail. So what is this header? Source MAC address, destination MAC address to the packet as a header, and CRC is as a tail. So this total packet we call it as a frame. Total packet we call it as a frame. What is CRC? Cyclic redundancy check. Okay, cyclic redundancy check. So it will verify your data at the receiving end whether data is corrupted or correct. Okay, so data is good or it is corrupted. Okay, so it's only verify that one. So it is data receiving and data is received there. So valid data is there or corrupted. So that's a CRC will do, cyclic redundancy check. This is physical layer. Physical layer receives frame and convert into bit stream. Bit stream are bits, whatever the name we call. So people will tell in different names. So the general name is bit stream. Okay, this bit stream is converted into different signal formats. What are the formats? Like if you are using Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet, it is converted into electrical signal. Why? Because in the wire we use, that's electrical wire, right? It's a copper wire. So it required electrical pulses only, pulse signal only it is. If you are using fiber optical cable, then it will become light waves or light signal or light wave I have to give light wave, radio wave, light wave, radio wave, pulse wave. I'm adding just wave. So in case don't get confused with the word, guys. I know you have a bad hobbies are there in Maharashtra people. What is that? You have to spell exact one. Exactly. If it is this one, then only. I observe here by names also. Like, when I came new to Pune, then if I said Varze means no, 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 that is Varze, something is there, right? Karve Nagar, Karve Nagar. Which one is correct? Still, I don't know. Cummins College. Spelling is UMM, Cummins. Okay, so it's not CAMM, not COMM also. Still, I don't understand. But still, lot of people are go with exactly. Like in Telugu, it is lot of conversion is there. Means if you spell something in little bit different, people will understand. But in here, we don't understand. And in interview, I have seen that thing. Interview ask a question in a little bit change is there in a question. People said, I don't know, sir. We don't never hear about this one, or maybe we don't know, I didn't study that one. Like this kind of answers they will give. But once they came and, sir, what is this? So it's just the same thing only. Like in one interview they instead of asking you they ask you. They hear no, so it's already they hear you, then you can say you, it's you only. Interviewer said in a different ways. Okay. And one interview they said like what is, I told to everyone, uh, what is one, operation procedure is there, no? Okay, SOP. Okay, so that's a procedure, like step by step procedure is there. So what is SOP? People are telling answers, and they suddenly change the question, but answer is same. What is a troubleshooting model? They change the question, what is troubleshooting model? That girl is not given answer, and she asks, sir, he asking it, what is troubleshooting model? I don't know. So what is troubleshooting model is nothing but SOP, and that is a SOP answer. Okay, so don't worry about what the word they're using it. So understand it and try to answer the question. Okay, and the answer is there. So answer is always the same, but question may different. Understand it or ask a question, like, are you asking about this one, sir? I know this one, like this. You can ask him, no problem. Try to give answers. Okay. The frames are in a bit stream. The bit streams are converted into electrical signal or light wave signal or light signal. Okay, here in a Wi-Fi, if you are using radio wave Wi-Fi signals, there are using. This is a completely your OSA layer, and few more things to be added. That is devices and protocols things we are in. So layer one is a a physical layer. Okay, it's example is hub. Data link layer is understand MAC address, and switch is also understand MAC address. That's why switch comes under data link layer. Router is layer 3 because router will understand IP addresses. Our PC is all the things. We have a NIC. NIC is a physical part. NIC also having a MAC address. It means it's a data link layer. So your NIC comes under layer 1, layer 2 only. NIC is comes under layer 1 and layer 2. NIC layer 1 layer 2 combination NIC. Okay. TCP/IP protocol stack, like a NIC don't have any dedicated IP addresses. We are giving IP address. IP address passes through NIC. Normally we think NIC having an IP address. No, NIC don't have any IP address. We are assigning an IP address on top layer of NIC. So in a TCP/IP layer only we are accessing this. Internet layer is there. There we are using. And OSA layer we are not using, but using OS layer we can understand what is the network. Using OS layer we will understand what is a network. and how to use the network, how to troubleshoot the network by voice layer only. And this is the comparison table from voice layer to TCP IP. The first three layer we call that one as a application layer, presentation layer, session layer, combinedly software layers. Here we call that one as a application layer in TCP. The combination of first three layers we call this one as a application layer. By this diagram, lot of people think these application layer, these things TCP/IP came from OSI layer. Lot of people think TCP/IP came from OSI layer. No, TCP OSI layer came later by understanding different protocols in the network. So the OSI is a reference model only. Okay, so it's just a reference for understanding how network is functioning. And also, if you want to build any network or you want to build a server or you want to do something through network, so then OSI layers will more helpful, and it is very helpful in a troubleshooting. Okay, so comparison wise, so this is a comparison table, application presentation session. Here it is application layer only, there means this application layer do application layer job, presentation layer job, and session layer job also. Transport is transport. So what are the transport layer do in a voice layer? Function of the transport layer in voice layer same in TCP IP layer only. Network layer we call it as a internet layer. Network layer we call this here as a internet layer, which is dealing with your IP addresses and routing protocols like RIP, AGRP also. Data link layer and physical layer is a network access layer. Okay, network access layer. So which function both data link layer and physical layer. So this is about your voice layer and comparing with the TCP IP. Here I've written a standards only. This is okay. Okay. So these are the devices. Okay, and here, and of course, I have to go a little bit back. To things. Oh, no, no, not required. I have a pictures here. There, these pictures are enough. This is ride control picture. What is this? Is it last picture? Okay. So it's all domain related things. Okay, this is another part. So so here I've written for easy to understand. Okay, so layers, and first one is dealing with web server, file server, mail server, protocols and all. Presentation layer and all, session layer, um, and this is transport layer, and also the segment is planned for IP addresses, network headers, cyclic redundancy check, written separately because the bottom it is not enough. Data link layer, you can see these two pictures. If you want, I will forward to you. Otherwise, it's okay, no problem for me. Okay. So this is a pictures. Is two pictures, complete OS layer. Okay. This picture is about protocols only. Only protocols. This is okay. Okay, guys. This is about your OS layer. I'm stopping here. Any doubts?